Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, I thought we'd go ahead and talk about the next Uma that's coming out, which is Seiun Sky. You've probably already heard me, as well as other content creators, talk about how great she is for her inherit of her alt, but now I thought I'd go ahead, not only talk a little bit about that, but also her as an Uma as a whole, and whether or not you should pull for her. So let's just go ahead and get right into her. So right off the bat, the first thing I always take a look at is the stat bonuses. She has it in stamina and wit. I actually like that location, especially since a lot of your front runners like Cancer Cup are going to be on like mile races when you have the biggest usage of front runners. And one of the things I don't want to have to hit when it comes to the mile race is stamina. And so while you don't have a very strict stamina limit or amount that you want like you had with like Gemini Cup or Taurus Cup, you still need to get around that 600 range on stamina. And so having a bonus of stamina makes it much easier to get there without hitting stamina. Because like me, for example, I plan to bring a speed and power cards and potentially wit cards for the Cancer Cup when it comes to building my ace. And getting my stamina basically off of sparks, as well as hitting the power. So a little bonus will just make it that much easier to hit that stamina cap. Because the last thing you want to do is not have enough stamina on the mile races, where it's a little bit easier to hit. And so pretty nice there. And then also mile races, wit becomes very important as well, because you don't have that strict stamina requirement. You're going to have a little bit more opportunity to hit wit. And your front runners have a lot of skills you're going to want to be using, so having a high wit is very good. But I do like her stat allocation here. She's good at turf, and then distance is mile, medium, and long. Mile being a C is not a big deal. If you're building her as an ace, you're going to be using mile sparks that easily bring this up to an A. She's good at front and pace, but her entire kit's designed around front. Builder is a front runner. And when it comes to her unique here, so this is what everybody talks about, myself included, of being the very good inherit. And that is because this one is an increase to acceleration at an opportune moment when in the lead on a corner late race. And so when you look at this, basically, as you can see, if she's in first place, you're in phase 2. And so you're in phase 2, you're in the corner, you're in a corner in the end, as well as in first place, you get a 4-second acceleration of 40%. To get up to speed. Now, if you remember, the big thing with the Taurus Cup, when it came to building Gold Ship, which was pretty much the meta unit that pretty much everybody used that was winning majority of the races, except me, unluckily, in my final, you wanted to get Majiro Ryan, Taiki Shuttle, and Ruzinski's alts on Gold Ship. The big reason was the Excel in the corner. As if you've probably watched it enough, you've seen how quickly they take off in that last spurt because of it. This is basically the same thing, but now for your front runner, and that was one of the big puzzle pieces that was missing for that group. And so that's why you didn't really, front runner wasn't really the meta in the Taurus Cup. If Seiun Sky was available at the time, you could have potentially seen a lot more opportunity to use a front runner in it because of this. But it's basically the front runner equivalent of those skills. Very good. Only requirement is that you be in first place, and it's basically you're going to get yourself in the lead, and this is what's going to help you keep yourself in the lead, so those gold ships and Narita Taishins are not going to have time to catch up to you in the last spurt, especially on the mile races, because on the miles there's just not enough distance for them to catch up to that front runner that's way ahead. So really nice overall skill, and while it's a great inherit, it's even better on her if you can get her in that position, because it's stronger. Then we look at the rest of her kit. I actually like the rest of her kit, especially right now, because one of the other big skills you're going to want to get on her is groundwork, which is a skill that in the beginning of the race can helps her basically get into the front at the beginning of the race. And one of the requirements to trigger it, just like tail held high requires mid-leg skills to get that boost, requires early race skills to activate groundwork. Luckily, one thing that can activate it are the green skills, and she comes right off the bat with one of them, front runner savvy. So now you only have to get 2 more greens to activate groundwork, and the 2 big ones you're going to want, of course, are going to be left-handed and summer runner, spring runner, fall runner, whatever the season is. Get those ones paired with this, and boom, groundwork works. She can get herself in the lead. And then you have all these other skills to help her keep herself in the lead. Now, she has stuff tied to long races, which frontrunners can be good. Now, Gemini Cup, you're going to have very limited time when she drops the builder for it. But if you've been preparing, you can build her for the Gemini Cup. She does have some skills for that as well. Comes with tail held high by default, which is very good for helping her stay in the lead mid-race. And then that's pretty much it. We won't have the evolved stuff for a while, so don't even worry about that right now. But that is pretty much her entire kit overall. You'll see many people say it's nothing too crazy, which it isn't. She's going to be kind of your average frontrunner right now, but she will get surpassed very quickly, especially when Summer Ruzinski drops. But she is still a very good pickup, not only for her inherit, but she is an okay frontrunner herself. Now, when we look at what's around her, because when it comes to deciding whether or not to pull over someone, is what are all your other pull opportunities that you might be, your opportunity costs? Because if you want to have 200 pulls first before you even think about pulling, so you can guarantee, because pity doesn't carry over. But if you have those 200 pulls, what are your opportunity costs? And so the big things around her, now just take note that I'm not going to talk about every single Uma here, but if one of these is your favorites, that's an opportunity cost, is you're not going to be able to pull over your favorites. But some of the big ones coming up, Grass Wonder is a big pickup. That's 2 banners away from now. Her big thing is she has an alt inherit that is a recovery skill. That's not, it's better than a white recovery, but a little bit worse than a gold recovery. It's kind of in the middle, but it makes it's a very convenient recovery that you can pretty much guarantee if she's your parent. And so you don't have to deal with probably what you've been dealing with right now with Gemini with the McQueen card and trying to get cooldown and making sure you get Swinging Maestro. Or then if you have like a Narita Taishin, now you have to worry about that getting blocked from someone having a debuffer. Like Urara just getting all the way to the back so it can't even activate. So with very limited options on recoveries, she's going to be that big pickup in a couple banners. And then the really big one, not too long after her, like 3 banners after her, it's going to be the Summer Maruzinski. She is like the meta-defining front runner for a little while. She will get surpassed. I think it's Valentine's Mihono Bourbon that'll surpass her. But until then, she'll be kind of the best one coming out the gate. Now, if you're wanting to go full-blown into this frontrunner meta, you could just skip Grass Wonder, and you actually have a decent amount of time to save up for Summer Maruzinski. And from what I understand, during this time, we do get handed a crap ton of pulls. So you will get a lot of pulls to hopefully have saved up another 200 to pull over her, even if you've drained all of your pulls on Seiun Sky. Now, when it comes to the support card side, kind of looking at those, I can switch over to the support cards. The big banners, there is nothing actually in support cards. If you've already established yourself on SRs, where you're good on SRs, I don't think there's anything you really need to pull on for quite a while. Now, I've talked about the Silent Suzuka Speed and Tomomo Cross being pretty good for a new player because they don't have the opportunity right now to pull on Kita-san Black or Super Creek. So this is like kind of the best current banner anytime soon to dump a bunch of pulls into because they're both good cards, but they're not like you're started since the beginning of the game. You've already established yourself with SRs. They're not a good banner for you to pull. One of the big reasons is while I really like the Silent Suzuka for a frontrunner as a card overall, we will get a free copy of it, well, a free equivalent of it, but as a stamina card, which is this Silent Suzuka. This one will come with the half anniversary. It's kind of taking a look at it, it's effectively the same card, but stamina instead of speed. Has stamina bonus, has training effectiveness, another initial stamina. So she gets a lot of initial stamina bonus there. All the frontrunner skills that you have on the speed card, which includes left-handed. One of the big reasons I've used it, even for the Taurus Cup, was specifically for left-handed. This card will come with that, as well as having concentration built into it as well. So this one, to me, kind of negates any reason to specifically pull over the Silent Suzuka speed card. And then Tomomo Cross, while a very good at MLB to be a floating stamina card that also has good training effectiveness, nothing too crazy, doesn't compete really very well against like a Super Creek or something. So easy skip there. The next big one, when you kind of go through all these that you're going to hear about a lot, is the Nice Nature Intelligence card, which comes right after the Summer Ruzinski. The big thing with this one being that it has race bonus 15% when you take into consideration this top part and this, which is going to be very important for another scenario. This is, to me, that one's a very big borrow card. That is a whale card. I would not advise anyone to pull on that. And then after that, we have quite a while until the next big card I would say to pull on. You have Riko Kashimoto. Maybe you want to try and get one copy of that. A very good. It's the next scenario's friend card. Has stamina built into it. So it's like Tazuna, but with stamina. And then after that, probably Kita-san Black for anyone that wants to finish off getting her MLB, which is quite a ways away. And then when it comes to Umas, also the same thing. The next big one after Summer Zensky for a lot of people is going to be Christmas Ugly Cap, which is right here. Quite a ways away. Plenty of time to save up for her. And like I said, there is the half anniversary events and stuff, which will get a ton of pulls. But I actually think Seiun Sky, you are in a pretty good opportune time right now to pull for her. But don't feel like you have to get her. If you can always borrow her and get her built into your grandparents. And if they have strong green, so they have like 3-star on the green or her alt, and you have that on both grandparents, that actually gives you a very good shot at getting the alt every run you do anyway. And so don't feel like she's a must-have, like some may say, because you can just get her built into your parents to get the alt that way as a grandparent. So overall, really great Uma. I'd say most people, you probably want to pull her if you're going to be using front runners. If not, don't worry about her. Go ahead and skip her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.